If you're listening to this short video, please go back and watch the talk we just did to have an understanding of the macro landscape and what's going on so that you can have a better understanding of what we're talking about. But if you know that the world is transitioning in this direction where volatility and chaos are going to become part of the process, but it follows very cyclical reality, which looks like this. This is gold, the volatility of gold during the Weimar currency collapse. If you know this is what you're going through, you ignore all of this volatility and you look back at the asset prices and you see that they make a very clear but turbulent, asymptotic growth curve. That looks exactly the same as this. It looks exactly the same as this. Let me delete all these lines. You see that? This is Bitcoin. This was gold. An asymptotic curve with bumps on it. An asymptotic curve with bumps on it. This is the process that's been playing out for the last 13 years, and it's going to continue forward. And during these dips, it's always terrifying. Like it's always like, oh my God, what was this? Oh my God, Mt. Gox collapsed. Oh my God, all faith is being lost. Oh my God, this thing's going to zero. Oh my God, governments are going to outlaw it. Oh my God, lawsuits started. Oh my God, nobody wants to buy it. No, there's no way that this is going to happen. Remember? There's depression and disbelief. This rally will fail like everything else. Oh my God, this is going to fail. There's no way this is going to happen. Up here, optimism starts. And then belief starts here, and then optimism starts here, and then everybody gets way too euphoric. And then, oh my God, ETF is going to launch with Bitcoin. And then it launches, and oh my God, nobody wants it anymore. Collapse. And then, oh my God, it fell off of a cliff. Oh my God, it's going to zero. Fear, panic, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If that process is what you know is playing out exactly, then you plan for it. That when these down periods come, and when you see that the dollar is at its peak in many ways, it's actually gone up and crushed a lot of other currencies, then at that time, start to transition into assets. Now, at the same time, the real peak that we're actually waiting for to fall to really signify that this process is happening is the 10-year yield peak. Right? This is the 10-year yield. The higher this goes, the lower assets go, and the lower this goes, the higher assets go. This is just interest rates. Now, at the same time, looking at the fear and greed index, we've seen this decline in the amount of greed that has been in the markets. Right? It's been going down. This was 2020, maximum amount of greed. Everybody wanted to get rich. This was 2021, people still wanted to get rich. Down here, nobody's thinking about getting rich. Everybody's worried about how poor they're getting. So that decline, you keep following down. And as this gets lower and lower, it gets more and more lucrative to buy these assets. Now, let's go through the coins that we've looked at before. Okay, Bitcoin, nothing has changed. Supply is limited. People still want it. As a matter of fact, governments and institutions want it even more. So this is Bitcoin. Clear growth curve. It's been happening for a while, and it's still going on like it's been going on the whole time. And remember, people look at it like this. Growth, collapse, growth, collapse. No, you look at it on log, and it's a clear, simple growth curve. And give it 10 years, and it'll be at a whole nother level. And people will wish they bought it down here at this 20,000, 17, 15, 13, 10,000. They'll wish that they had it when it goes to 100,000. Ethereum has thousands and thousands of apps running on it. Thousands. They're adding millions of dollars of value, billions of dollars of value to people's lives, and it just started. It just started in 2017. You know, if you think it's going to collapse completely, I would think otherwise. Avalanche is building the central bank digital currencies of many countries. Solana, the one that FTX was based on, is still one of the most used ecosystems out there today, and it just started in 2020. It hasn't even Solana is where Bitcoin was back here. It went through one growth curve and crash. That's where Solana is right now. One growth curve and crash. What do you think comes next? I would put my money on growth. Atom, same thing. Just recently started, one growth curve, crash. XRP is building the stable coins of countries and building the central bridge currency for the entire world. Has gone through basically one growth curve and crash. And what do you think comes next? Matic, the entire world is building on Matic. One growth curve and crash. Link, this data doesn't even show it properly, but one growth curve and crash. Okay, you're seeing exactly the same thing playing out. Algorand, same thing. XLM, one growth curve, crash. This doesn't count as a growth curve, it never even went beyond that. VeChain, it's literally the exact same thing playing out on all of the different cryptos, and these are all solid cryptos that haven't. Aave is a lending platform, a decentralized lending platform that has still been solid this whole time. And those people that are like, gold is the best. Well, let's see, how good is gold? From 2011 until now, gold has made you $0. As a matter of fact, not just made you $0, it has lost a bunch of purchasing power because the dollar has lost a ton of purchasing power from 2011 until now. So gold has actually lost a bunch of money along the way, and it's exactly breaking even with where it was before. Silver, this doesn't show that, there we go. Silver, from, if you bought silver in 2011 at $48, you first of all, you lost 50% of your purchasing power in dollars, and then you lost a shit ton of purchasing power in inflation. So gold has lost 65% of your purchasing power. I mean, silver has lost 65% of your purchasing power. Copper, if you bought copper itself, same thing. You know, like buying any of these commodities themselves doesn't make sense. Wheat, come on, load up. Wheat has been on a run. Look at that. Food's doing great. It's crushing it. Technology. Okay. 2011. Apple's gone from $12 to $145. Netflix has gone from $41 to $320 even after the crash. Facebook has gone from double-digit dollars to $120 still, and at its peak it was $400. Amazon has gone from $11 to $92. Assets have gone from 130, the S&P went from 133 to $4,000. Okay, so does it make sense to buy technology, or does it make sense to go buy gold? This is the tech stocks, okay? NASDAQ, 2011 has gone from $2,300 to $11,000. Okay, what's history telling us? That you should be buying technology. Okay, you should be focused on a future where technology is going to be the future of everything, and actually leaning into that rather than leaning away from it. And when there's fear in the markets, buy. Okay, because when you go all the way back here in 2018, if we were, you know, I think we'll go down again. I think we need to go down to this like 10-ish region to really make people cry. And I think Binance collapsing and potentially USDT Tether collapsing will take us down to those regions. I think when that happens, that's when you actually start to get down to these regions. We're still in this capitulation anger. Why did the government allow these guys to do this? People are panic sold. Now we're probably going to go into a little bit of a growth curve, because you don't just keep crashing straight. You let it grow a little bit into the beginning of next year, and then crash all the way back down. But in reality, zoomed out, this is what's happening. This black line in the background. We are going to ridiculous numbers. And you know what you should do along the way? When the volatility goes up and you see that it's pumped, and there's like, you turned your single digit dollars into $100, or $100,000 into $1 million, take 100,000 of that, take 200,000 of that, take at least 100,000 of that, the money that you put in, and turn it into real wealth. turn it into quality of life for your family, turn it into a farm, turn it into a house, turn it into real world value, turn it into experiences, turn it into delicious food, turn it into anything that really matters. Because you know what the great thing about food is? It grows itself. The seed from food grows more food. Okay? Land puts shelter over your head. The next time it happens, you turn into more wealth. Next time it happens, you turn into more wealth. And I mean real wealth, experiential life wealth. And then when the currencies go up here to these insane numbers, at that point, you ideally turn it into as much wealth as possible. But you have to enter down here and you have to ride through this. And these people had to ride from 1917 to 1923. But within 6 years, they became trillionaires. And if you told people down here that they would become trillionaires, they would have laughed at you. They said it's absolutely preposterous to even think about somebody becoming a trillionaire. But you know how you pay off a quadrillion dollars of debt with $150 trillion of money? You just print $850 trillion of money. It's not that complicated. I can just print as much money as I want, right? Okay, so then I'll just print $2 quadrillion of money and destroy everybody's. Yeah, and then just keep borrowing along the way, and just pay off, quote unquote, pay off the debt in numbers that they need to be paid off in. And the people who are in the assets, who especially learn how to ride these waves and at the peaks turn it into wealth, become the people who have just the greatest time in the process. The great thing today is we can do it with clicks. We don't even have to go buy physical gold. We don't have to go buy real shit. We just click. You want to buy gold? Click on where it says PAX G. Boom, gold bought. I mean, this is TradingView. This is not how you buy gold. But actually, TradingView literally has, if you add it in here, you can say trade and buy one PAX G. And you can actually have an exchange hooked up so you can just buy it from here. Okay? But it's that simple. But it's understanding this process that's going on. This great reset is now going to reset everything to a digital world based on digital value represented in digital terms. Understand that whole process. Understand what value you want to create in the world. Now, the Federal Reserve has, the inflation numbers just came out and the inflation is starting to slow down. It looks like it's starting to slow down. Within the next 6 months, inflation looks like it's going to peak. And when inflation peaks, that means the Fed's raising rate raises peak and pause. When they pause, the markets start to pump. Along the way, something breaks, and then when things dump in the markets, the Fed starts printing money. And they find some excuse to start dumping rates again. There's still one more proper bull run left in this dollar-based system. In that time, figure out your shit. Get your farms in order, get your family in order, get your life in order, get your water security in order, get your community in order, get your assets into your own control. And yeah, that's it. So good times coming up ahead. This asset class has already gone from $3 trillion down to $827 billion, but it'll probably even go down to as low as $400 billion. Then what it's probably going to do is go up to $10 trillion within the next 3 years, which means that's a 10x on the entire market, which means it's a 20x or whatever on the rest of the assets, which means we have an opportunity to crush it. And if you're even sitting here listening to this, you're already on the train that's headed in the right direction. And let's enjoy it. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. The last 2 years have been the greatest 2 years of my life. And I'm so glad I met you guys. I'm so glad that we're sitting here in Bali on a Wednesday talking about all this stuff. And now, any questions? Any questions in there?
Since there's nobody in the room, time to buy.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody in the room. We're starting our own indicator that it's going to be called People in the Room Indicator. The less people there are, the more we start to buy. And yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to shut up. See you guys next time. We'll talk about some other crazy shit. And remember to meditate and remember to love. And yeah, see you guys.